People aren't going to remember you for the meaningful conversations that you had. They are going to remember you as being that woman that fell over. Hello, hello, hello. I'm so happy that you're here again, friends. And if you're new here, welcome. I would absolutely love it if you would hit the like button, if you would leave me a comment, and most importantly, if you would subscribe. I'm so passionate about the movement of bringing women together who value homemaking, femininity, and striving to be a high-value woman throughout their entire lives. Today, we're going to talk about a very high-value thing. We are going to talk about etiquette and being a classy woman. So etiquette, I am very, very passionate as well. I guess everything that I talk about on this channel is stuff that I am very passionate about, but honestly, motivating people to learn about etiquette and have good etiquette is something that is very difficult to do. I've actually had to do this and I have been laughed at, and it is not fun to be laughed at when you're trying to teach something that you actually have been asked to teach to a group of women. So I'm hoping that you're here because you want to learn and you will not laugh at me. So we are going to talk about casual party etiquette. Why would you want to have good etiquette as a feminine woman? And as a homemaker, having proper etiquette is going to exude class because you are going to be appealing to the respectful nature of interacting with somebody else. So what do I mean by that? As a feminine woman, you are going to want to remain open and inviting and foster connections. If you would like more information on being a feminine woman, please go check out my femininity playlist linked above and down below, where you can get all of that information on what it means to be a feminine woman and how to grow in your femininity. So the feminine homemaker, or the feminine woman who is striving to foster relationships, is going to want to show good etiquette as a form of respect to other people. Especially when you are invited to a party, you are going to want to be on your best behavior because you are going to meet people where your first impression is going to count. And if you have a bad first impression, you are automatically cutting off that opportunity to foster a connection and to really show them your true, open, beautiful, and feminine spirit. Casual parties are somewhat tricky, and the reason why you may be thinking, Cynthia, why didn't you do this video at the beginning of summer, is because, well, there was so much other content I wanted to get out there, but also the fact that it's still relevant since we are getting into a period of end of summer parties, beginning of school year parties, and a recruitment or beginning of college university parties if you are in that age range. So you're going to want to know how to have good etiquette at these parties. A lot of people think that since they are casual, you don't have to display any type of etiquette. Now, some of these things might seem quite obvious to you, but I'm such a big proponent on always searching for a coach, always continuously immersing yourself in content that is going to positively influence you. You are going to need continuous reminders of what good etiquette is so that you can feel that push, that motivation to continue to implement it into your daily life. The first sign of good etiquette that I want you to implement when attending a casual party is to consider your attire. During the end of summer season, you are probably going to be transitioning from indoor space to outdoor space. Bring yourself a cardigan because you don't want to be uncomfortably freezing inside and during the nighttime outside. You're also going to want to opt for proper footwear. If you are going to be outside and also potentially under the influence of alcohol, you are going to want something with appropriate straps around your ankle. Don't wear flip-flops or sandals of that nature. There's also a big misconception, and I actually learned this on another channel that I don't even know which channel it is, but if you're watching this, I'm sorry, I learned this tip on your channel, is that flip-flops are actually not meant for everyday wear, and they are meant for around the pool. Now, I never was a person who actually wore flip-flops really casually unless it was to go to the corner store and grab some milk, but keep that in mind in this season. And the reason why they are not appropriate and they are not appropriate footwear is due to the nature that they don't have ankle stabilization. So if you're walking on uneven ground outside, you're going to want something to support you. You don't want to be that woman who falls over and makes a bad impression because people aren't going to remember you for the meaningful conversations that you had. They are going to remember you as being that woman that fell over. Another thing that I want you to consider, especially because you are moving and you are meeting new people, is to choose attire that makes you feel comfortable at all angles. When I look at myself in the mirror, I always think, would I feel comfortable if somebody was taking a picture of me at all angles? And if the answer is no, you should probably chuck that item or only wear it around your house and not at a party. You might be bending over. There might be games. People get a little wild at casual parties. There might be times where you have to move more quickly. You are going to want to wear something that covers your body. Another thing is to dress appropriate for the context. So if you're going to a beach or a pool party, you're going to want to bring a swimsuit, of course, perhaps a change of clothes. You can bring one of those bags or just a plastic bag to put your wet swimsuit in. Always bring a towel and make sure you have a sturdy bag with a zipper, because at casual parties, when you have everybody's bags all together, something might get lost. The next thing that I want you to think about is timing. So for casual parties, it's a little bit different. For a formal event, it's acceptable if you get there 10 to 15 minutes beforehand, but for a casual party, you're going to want to arrive on time or within the first 10 minutes. Since it's a casual party, last minute details might be put together, and you don't want to be the person that shows up when people are still setting things up. People will arrive and go as they please. You don't want to be late because you don't want to be that person that is significantly late, but you don't want to be early either because you don't want to cause a distraction. Being a distraction is not a very feminine thing to do. You're going to also want to consider bringing a casual party favor, something that will add to the actual party. So that could be as simple as a bag of chips or pretzels, or that could be a bottle of wine. It is always important that you bring something. When you arrive at the party, you are going to want to try to be welcoming and as helpful as possible. You can help your host, and a way to do this quite femininely is actually to insert yourself in the situation rather than ask the person, oh, can I help you with that? Rather, you want to say, let me help you with that. And you want to be receptive to the people around you that might need your help. This is going to exude a type of, wow, she's really nice type of aura that you're trying to project. It is going to showcase you as a very feminine woman who cares about the needs of the host and the attendees. Speaking of the attendees, you are going to want to have good conversation. You can check my video up here and down below for tips on how to have good conversation as a feminine woman. Remember, you are going to want to ask questions that lead to other questions. I use the example of not just asking somebody what their favorite hobby is, but when asking them what they do on their free time. This opens the space for less awkward moments and more conversation, and allows you to ask more questions. You are also going to want to refrain from including anything that has to do with sex, money, or gossip. These three things: sex, money, gossip. You can talk about these things in private with your best girlfriends, but not at a casual party. Maybe at a very private, intimate dinner party, but you're not going to want to bring it up in a casual setting, because these topics can be seen as really impolite when you ask people, even if these people are your friends, and especially considering if they are your friends and they begin opening up to you about these things, you are going to create a situation where you can only have a conversation with that specific person, and you cannot include everybody at the get-together or party. A casual party is not an intimate setting where you are able to have those one-on-one or those few people conversations. You are going to want to converse in a large group. If your host sees you having more intimate conversations with people and not including everybody else, she or he might feel slightly disappointed that everybody is not mingling. Asking money questions is also a way to immediately cause somebody not to open up to you. If you saw one of my previous vlogs, you will know why. I suggest you also go check that out. And I also almost forgot, but you're not going to want to include issues of politics. You can brush those topics off by saying things that are kind of witty, humorous, but also respectfully telling people to back off. Make sure that you have eaten something and drank something before going to the party, especially if it is still hot outside when you are going to this party, because we tend to kind of underestimate our needs when we are socializing and we have that continuous stimulus going on, that we might not notice if we are dehydrated or hungry, and then get to a point where we feel lightheaded and maybe a little bit hangry. This is especially important if you're going to be drinking alcohol and going to be in a pool or a hot tub, because considering that you are in water, you are going to think that you are hydrated, but you are not drinking that water, so you are actually going to be dehydrated. Always remember, before you leave the party, you are going to want to say goodbye to your host. Since it is a casual party, you do not have to say goodbye to everybody and basically announce that you are leaving, but you are going to want to go to your host and say goodbye. The last thing I want to encourage you to do is to put your phone away. Try to be present in the moment. This is a very feminine thing to do. Really try to build connections with the people at the party and be just a good life of the party person. You cannot do that if you are always checking your phone or you are always concerned with having the best picture. I have even noticed this having been present on Instagram throughout my life. Sometimes there are opportunities where you just have to put your phone away, and yeah, everybody would like to see what you are doing at the party, whether it be your friends, your family, or if you are a social media influencer. When you are doing that, you are often taking yourself away from that moment, and you are causing a type of disconnect between real life and what you believe should be picture perfect. It's very difficult to explain, but just try to reserve those more fun moments for not being a part of social media. Take other outings and specifically allot them so that you can showcase them on social media and keep those connections, those special moments with other people at social events, a private part of your life. I believe I touched on all of the subjects for today. Every season I will be including a new etiquette video, and I am so excited to share with you the upcoming videos on this. If you have some etiquette tips for casual parties, I know there are more etiquette tips we can talk about, but please comment and let me know. I would love to have this listed in the comments section for all of the people to see. I also wanted to tell you that if you are a woman supporting this channel and you have your own blog, your own Instagram that is around a certain theme, or your own YouTube channel, let me know, because I really want to support you as well, and I would love to follow you back. Once again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. I really, really love you all. See you next time. Bye.